So there are some big questions to be asked from Pokemon, and the big one we're seeing, are they creating smaller sets to kind of go with demand? And to be honest, I could kind of see it. And really what you want to look at is kind of the Scarlet and Violet era. Either they have kind of noticed that maybe doing these massive sets are just not necessarily that good for them. Like, you look at a Paldea Evolved, and it's not even necessarily the illustrations, but even just the standard cards. Like, from the standard base set, we go all the way up to 193 cards, let alone then getting another, 80 cards in general on just another set. Now, obviously, there will be smaller sets as well. So, like, if we look at, like, an Obsidian Flame, I don't think that was mass. I mean, actually, when you look at it now at 230, it's a considerably big kind of set compared to what we're seeing with the likes of Phantasmal. Like, we look at kind of the Phantasmal now. In fact, look at base set. What is base set coming in at? We got 258. I know the base set for Mega Evolution wasn't necessarily tiny, but say we go for like Phantasmal and you look at that in general, it's 130 cards. Compared to Obsidian, that's over the 200 mark. And then even when you look at something like a Mega Evolution in itself, like that one was one of the biggest sets, but even then only comes up to 188 with all of the special illustrations. So it is interesting if they are trying to take a different route. Obviously we did have like a 151, a Shrouded Fable that was considered a smaller set. Again, 207 in that. You got the black, I know obviously Black Bolt and White Flare were a special set for what they were trying to give. When you do look at like the Shrouded Fable with 99, and to be honest, the big thing is you can still find Shrouded Fable for a more reasonable price than everything else. You look at it like a Stellar Crown, and like you can see that even coming up to 175. So it is interesting, and I know it's not necessarily everything, because we look at Ascended Heroes with all of the specifics. Like, we look at the cards in itself, like we're seeing a massive set here, 295. But then in general, when you are looking at all of these cards, they've got two different reverse holos on them as well. That is a massive card. I think it's like 600-700 cards in one set to collect. But then we do look at the Perfect Order and look at Chaos Rising. Now, Perfect Order is going to be a set that has now been released kind of late March, 27th to be precise. Well, they should actually have pre-releases will take place now from the 14th to the 22nd. But we know that apparently it is going to be almost a like-for-like compared to the Nullifying Zero, or the, I can't even remember what it was called. It was Munich, you don't know, Zero. The Japanese set of it is the Perfect Order, so it is coming out as almost a 1-by-1 set in terms of the actual listing. I believe there is only like a Lapras or something as an EX that are different. Everything else is going to keep the exact same kind of set structure and cards that are going to come out. There is the I don't know if they're like the gym Japanese cards that will come out. We've obviously got there. That is going to be the Lapras that obviously is going to come from that set specifically, but in obviously English. So everything here is kind of there. The only other thing we have that is different, I believe, is going to be, I want to say, is it the trainer cards? I'm pretty sure we've got a couple that are based in English. So we've got the Crushing Hammer, the Energy Search. That's going to be two of them. Can I click into them? So they're from base set. They're going to be added, and then like a Pokeball. So there's a couple of cards that are really left. Everything else is pretty much the same. All of the secret rares are going to be pretty much the same. I don't believe there's anything new, so it is just a standard as we go. And then obviously we've got the Perfect Order. Tyrant will be the ETB, so that is going to be the standard. But again, looking at that, 124 is the set. Let alone that, we have seen news from Chaos Rising that the set is kind of there, and we know that roughly it should be another very small set going into it, because we know that the Ninja Spinner set is now out. We did get all of the secret rares from it, so we can obviously know that there's going to be 120 there. Roughly, we are going to see about the same when it comes to the Chaos Rising. So already we look at the kind of sets that have come out during Mega Evolution. You've got sub 200 for Mega Evolution, sub 130, 140 for Phantasmal. You then obviously got loads for Ascended Heroes. They know that that was a problem in itself. Or sub 130 for obviously Perfect Order, and the same for Chaos Rising. So are they trying to protect themselves? And this is kind of the rumor that's going on. I think it's a smart idea. I don't think you need these massive sets. So like, realistically, a lot of people are just going for the illustrations anyway. I like a base set. I like collecting specifics like we go into a Destined Rivals. As much as, yes, I will always love to have the illustrations. They're always the fun cards. They're always everybody wants. I like the base set as well. Like, I like it leading up to something. To be honest, I like it the other way around. Like how we had it back in the day with, like, Skyridge, where they had the hollows at front. And then they had kind of all the common set. It kind of went from rare downwards. I do prefer that sometimes. So it is interesting to see whether people would do it that way in the future. But you got 244 cards on Phantasmal. It's just absolute nuts to not Phantasmal, Destined. It's just crazy to see how many cards you got to print. You think even just a Growlithe, how many times that needs to be printed for packs, for products, and then just across the world. That then becomes crazy when you add almost, 182 normal cards, 170 if you're getting rid of EXs, 170 bog standard cards, let alone then having the quality control for all the specials, all the golds, all the SARs. I don't blame him. I really don't blame him if this is the way to combat it. Make it slightly smaller. I think it's probably better, to be honest, as well. In terms of what we're kind of getting here, I would much rather have them smaller. I think if that was the case, to be able to get the product, but then also be able to collect them. I want to be able to collect a set. When a set's got over 700 cards and the main two cards are 500-600 each, it becomes impossible. But it is an interesting theory across the pond with it. Whether they are trying to do something like that, time will tell. Well, to be honest, we'll know if the next 5 sets are tiny as well and they don't have a big set until next year, then maybe yes, maybe they are trying to go a little bit smaller. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Let me know down below what you think about it though. I've got the Perfect Order set list, so go check that out. I've got my binder set up ready for it. And then Chaos Rising is starting to come out. We have had the Ninja Spinner promo, Japanese set, which is going to be that in itself of the Chaos Rising. We've already kind of went through a lot of the cards and a lot of the specials, which is really cool. It's just going to be another nice set to be able to get our hands on. But like I say, let me know down below what you think about this. Are they right? Are they not right? Is it just rumors? And to be honest, will it make that much of an effect? Will it really change how many products were actually going to be available? But we will see in the future. Catch you all for that next one. Peace.